meditation now, and the object I suggest is the sensation in your right hand. Yeah? So just as a kind of experiment. And the hand is really, amazing thing, right? It's like you're going to miss it. You can touch people, you can talk with your hands, you can hold things, and the hands are it's in a way a miracle, right there. Why would you go to the Himalaya, if you have the hand to explore? If you would need to figure out, this, it's too complex just to make some movements like this. I have no idea how I do this. So it's something very precious. Imagine you wouldn't have had a hand experience before, and suddenly you discover why you have lost any contact with the hand for like 5 years. It's like a dead, yeah? And then suddenly you get life into it, and you can feel, and it's so sensitive. When you think about it, what you can feel, how everything feels different when you touch stuff. It's an amazing amazing territory. And thank you, hand. It's so amazing. Yeah. So you see, this is kind of something which, if you bring that into the meditation object, that can be a good help to get really curious and grateful, and making you wanting to dance with the hand, yeah, with the sensation in your hand, and being curious about it. There's territory in this hand you have never felt, and so you can start to explore, yeah. And then if you become an explorer, a childlike, wandering mind, then your mind wants to stay engaged with the hand, because for the session, like 10 minutes, it will be really important. If then the unpaid bill comes, you're not interested. Unpaid bill, here, hand, this is, much more interesting. I don't want to think about you again. I have thought about you yesterday. So, yeah. And then you can stay engaged. So let's play a bit. You make yourself comfortable, and for this meditation it might be helpful to close your eyes. So of course you can also meditate with open eyes, but we are a bit more maybe attentive to sensations when our eyes is closed. And you start by just noticing the whole body and taking a few moments of checking in, like the inner weather. How are you being here? Not losing the awareness of your surroundings, but bringing your own energy into the foreground, dropping from the head into the body. Thoughts become less important, you don't emphasize them so much. Then with the next in-breath, you slide down into your hand, into the palm of your hand. So we focus a bit on the palm and the fingers. And you can do a bit of combination with the breath and your hands, so there can be a sense that you breathe into the hand or breathe through the hand. So it's a bit of both. And take your time, so there is no rush, so just like noticing the sensations. Or I would use the word energy, so the energy, but I mean not the sensations. So initially you focus out onto the whole. It becomes your dance partner. So meaning it comes to the foreground without anything else needs. So like I can talk right now and still my meditation object is the sensation in my hands. So I don't lose it. The talking happens in peripheral awareness. So now focus in onto the area where the sensations are most distinct. So you narrow down the area of engagement. So the meditation object is not the mental image of the hand. So if you kind of have that see if you can dissolve or at least make it more transparent or let go of the mental image of the hand. The meditation object is the sensations. And you stay. So now focus in onto the thumb without using the mental image. You stay with the sensations. And the object can be quite subtle here, so you actually need to put a kind of a bit of energy into it. So what actually the meditation object here is a chi or prana, lung in Tibetan. So you might notice the noise, and still you can stay engaged. So the noise can kind of come and go, but you keep dancing with your thumb. And then if you notice that you forget the object or you lose it, so you lose your dance partner, without hurry, you come back. Keep the mind open, the body relaxed. If you notice that you kind of start to tense, like in the shoulders or in the belly, you soften. Kind of you loosen the grip on the object. You relax more. So instead of tensing more when you lose the object, you relax more. This is a difficult thing. Because instinctively we tense. Go 40, 80, 20, 80. Lightly resting. So now there might be a sense that you kind of sit up in your head and you look down. So of course you're not in your head, that you make that up, but there might be a sense. So if that is the case, see if you can really drop into your body with your awareness, and you feel the sensation in your hands where they are, kind of from inside, not from above. So actually, yeah, you can close the door. Actually, so this is, probably, if this now would be my meditation session, I would have shifted to another object, to the noise, because it was too distinct. So I started to battle. Yeah? So then I would shift. But let's stay with the sensation in your hands. Bit breathing in the peripheral awareness. We are still in the thumb. And then you focus out again into the whole hand. Softening, so to counteract tension. That's important part. Then notice, can you find something lasting, something stable within the sensation in your hands? Is there something which is really like concrete, real? So look for that. And then move to the area where the sensations are most subtle, maybe almost like you don't feel anything. There's like almost nothing there. So move there, focus in there. And you stay 40, 80. So now we focus out, so bring your awareness into your whole body without hurry. So you kind of let go of the hands and you bring your awareness into the trunk, into your arm, into the whole arms, into your legs, into your head. You become aware. The whole body is breathing. Feel the aliveness in your whole body. And then you broaden your awareness even more, so into the surroundings, also into the back. So you become aware of what is behind you. And you allow sensations and sounds, the presence of the people around you. You just allow. You become like the sky. And you become aware not only of what is coming and going, but also of the space within which everything is coming and going, as if you're sitting on a mountain top and you look into the landscape without particular focusing on anything, just openness. Still there can be a bit of stabilizing with the breath, like 10%, like lightly, so that you have a bit of an anchor, but the direction is towards openness. By completely letting go of control. Neither grasping, so neither clinging nor rejecting, so no grasping. And you just rest, because there's nothing to do. And if that becomes a little bit confusing or too much, you anchor yourself with the breath again. And this practice is called open awareness, or shamatha without object. Effortless meditation. Thoughts come and go, feelings, sensations, sounds, and you let it go through with a heart like the sky. Find a place of rest in the midst of your experience by allowing this moment to be what it is. So there's a lot of things to say about this. If you got curious, last year I gave a series of talks, or it was a course in Malmö, and the recordings are on my SoundCloud profile. It's called Stages of Meditation, I think. There's like 8 evenings or something, so you can listen to that. And there I go through the 9 stages of developing shamatha. So are there any questions? Comments? Doubts? Yes?
I was curious when you talked about developing clear intention.
Yeah.
If there are, I don't know, because I have been told by my meditation app and by people that have taught me to meditate, feel your intention. I can conjure some words or some sentences, but I've never really felt it to be that important for me, and usually I just get lost in thought when I try to think about my intention.
Yes, what is your intention? Why do you go to the meditation app?
And usually it amounts to something like being a version of myself that's able to serve the world in a good way.
How does that feel?
Yeah, pretty
Is-
good, I guess.
Yeah. So is there? I mean, it is. What you now said is words. Yeah. So you described it in the rational zone because that's how you need to do it. But if you kind of feel into the longing or the yearning behind it, so probably there could be a bit of a somatic aspect to it, like a feeling tone to it. And from the Buddhist point of view, this is the most powerful intention as a human being you can ever have. It's called bodhicitta, the awakened heart. And you have it already. So, I mean, in the Buddhist teachings, there's you kind of you study a lot and you do a lot of practices to get there, to find this, yeah? What you just described. And probably it has been with you since you can think. I mean, maybe it arose with 10 or 12 or something. I don't know.
It could also be that I conjure an intention that I think is the right intention to have. It could also be that I make up an intention that I think is the right intention to have.
Fake it until you make it, in that case. Yeah. So that's how you do it in the Buddhist training. Like you kind of in the rational zone, you back up this intention, but then you get also meditations which bring you in contact with the feeling tone of it. And the Mahayana propaganda says we all have it actually somewhere. And if that doesn't become the guideline or the compass in our life, we are not going to be really happy. Yeah, so that would be intention. So it could also, I mean, now you gave that answer. You could also have said something like, yeah, I want to feel a bit more peaceful in the morning. And that's an honorable intention. I mean, so you start where you are. So, but then in the Buddhist training, you would kind of build on it, but then you would kind of try to make it, or try to look behind it. So why do you want to have a peaceful morning? What's the purpose of that? And then there comes an answer, and then, so quite often actually, many people who turn up in a place like this, they actually somehow already have some of that, what you just described. Because otherwise they would do something else than going to a Mahayana Buddhist center. So I think that's it. And it's not dramatic, some people feel it needs to be dramatic, like a Hollywood-like intention, with some chorus in the back or something like that. No, this is like decent Danish, modest, down to earth, beautiful, but it's genuine and it's real, and that's it. And then you can formulate that. I mean, you could formulate. Yeah, I'm practicing. I don't remember the words now, but I'm practicing like this. And then you play with this. Maybe you can make a little prayer out of this. This is what you do then in the Buddhist practice. You make a prayer around it. Yeah. But the important thing is that it is something genuine, which you can really at least say without kind of feeling that you are violent to yourself or something. Yeah, and then that's good enough. This is very powerful. We shouldn't underestimate the power of intention and aspiration. This makes a huge difference. To reconnect with that, maybe almost every day, with that Bodhisattva vow. What you said is actually the Bodhisattva vow, what is called the Bodhisattva vow. And it's particularly beautiful because you didn't recite something you read somewhere, but it was in your own words. So that also shows that there's some genuineness into it. So this is actually, I mean, this what you just said makes what we are doing, whatever it is, and in this case a meditation practice, something completely else, which you are, in most of the meditation apps you wouldn't find that. That's not why, I don't know what you use, but so this is probably actually the most important part of your meditation practice. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you just meditate to have a better blood pressure, that's of course good for you and it will work. But this will call all the bodhisattva angels, and they are happy, and I mean this is a cosmic that has a cosmic influence. That kind of intention. It's in a way it's more precious than being a really good meditator, and it makes it, that is a game changer. You become a spiritual practitioner now. Actually, you are become a son of all the Buddhas in that moment.
Thank you.
Very modest.
Yes.
So how would you question if you see that your intention is like regulating your blood pressure? How would you examine that kind of, or wanting peace in the morning? How would you start that investigation to broaden it out?
So, are you talking from the point of view of the practitioner, or from the person guiding or teaching, or?
I'm talking right now from my own point of view as a practitioner.
Yes. So already, I mean, having the intention to broaden this is already a good direction, because it shows that you have recognized that your original intention is quite modest and will not bring lasting effects, like so. And then it's so individual. I mean, it's like, because we are in different places, we have different understanding, also your worldview. Like if you are kind of a bit stuck in the rational zone and the materialistic, so-called scientific worldview, of course then you have other options than if you are already a bit more flexible in your view what reality is. I think one thing, I mean, in the Tibetan tradition, maybe one important part of this would be inspiration and admiration of a teacher, of a master. So that could be the starting this movement of aspiration, admiration, not blind, but you feel, wow, there is something. I'm drawn to that. What is that? And then you can broaden it. And then, as I said, within the structure of the Lam Rim, the graded path, you go through this series of reflections and contemplations to actually get to that place of a more altruistic intention. So the Lam Rim is structured in a way, so using the rational zone, reasonings and contemplation to actually come to that place. And and it's something we need to maintain. So it's not, it's something like we continue to strengthen the altruistic intention through these kind of reflections. Does that make, is that helping? Yeah.
Yes. What I was considering was,
Mm.
would it be more simple that to see when I practice, I see that often it's for I can see that there's a clear intention of knowing some kind of goodness,
Yes.
but the perspective of necessarily sharing it constantly, strongly as the bodhicitta is not so clear.
No.
It's there, but
Yes.
I would be untrue
Yeah.
if I said it was.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was like.
So what I would say is it's always good to be loyal to where you are and see, when you talk about full-fledged bodhicitta, I mean,
Yeah.
that's something, it can be a compass in our life, but it will be probably for most of us something between like a bit of a longing, a yearning, and some fake it until you make it, some kind of aspiration, and so it's a mixture of that. And I appreciate, or also in the Tibetan tradition, just to formulate this, like still in a rational zone, is a good thing. Yeah. So I think it can be still part of one's practice to do like a bodhicitta prayer, but still staying true to what you feel, and not be violent to where you are, or being too ambitious. Yeah, being realistic. That bodhicitta is something very profound and very deep, which probably for most of us needs really time to become familiar and embody, probably more than one life. But the aspiration and saying the prayer kind of creates a bond which becomes indestructible with this. And probably, I mean, now maybe there's some people who think it's, what is he talking about? But okay, that's fine. Maybe I say something useful for those people also. Actually, because you are here and you have not left in the break, like some people, you have already taken this bodhisattva vow. Otherwise, you would go to a vipassana center, or go to the pub in the evening. So there is already some pull in you. I mean, why were you attracted to that Facebook ad and not to the other one? So there is a pull already, and that's that pull, that bodhicitta, that bodhisattva vow. Okay. So yeah, I think just mentioning it now and through that reconnecting a bit with it, or just hearing about the bodhisattva vow, what he just said, it's like that made this evening really precious, really special, because that's how you strengthen that bond. And it is this bond which is the most precious at the time of death. Because it will bring you onto new places where you can help others. And the bodhisattvas, they are very happy now. The the Bodhisattva angels. Part of that definitely is the focus on your own healing. But even that, the focus on your, if you are in a very difficult period in your life, and we all have been and we all will be again, and some of us are right now, and some of us are in that place all the time. Of course, your own healing, that's your contribution to the healing of the planet. And the own healing project, so meditating to have a better place to be with anxiety, can be done with that intention. With that intention, wanting to be of more benefit for the people around you. So taking care of yourself, and maybe your whole life, you're part of the planet. So the healing which you offer to yourself is an offering to the planet. It's obvious. Even if you don't think about it, and everyone around you will benefit from your own healing process. So this is, it's like one can do, it's not necessary, but somehow maybe it's more powerful, or it becomes part of a bigger vision in your life if you put your own healing processes, therapy, everything into the context of the process of awakening for the benefit of all. Then it's not only about you. And actually, it's very difficult to do serious healing work if you only do it for yourself. Because you're only one person. And it's hard to do this tough work just for one person. It's very likely that you kind of give up, or kind of say, oh, it doesn't matter, I just drink myself to death. Because it doesn't make any difference. But if you take on this honorable job to heal a person for the benefit of all, and that's yourself, then it becomes really beautiful, and it becomes something honorable which can fill you with dignity. In the world, you might, people might feel like, wow, you're not productive, or, it's like just take some medication, to get to work, back to work. And we might feel bad about not being productive. But if you put it into this view of bodhicitta, then you become, this is my job. This is an honorable job. And I'm paid by the government to do that job. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, those of you who have children, it's very easy to start with that kind of thinking, because when mothers or fathers do inner work, looking at their patterns, wanting to stop to pass on the family trauma to the next generation, kind of saying, this is going to stop with me. There's much more power in that kind of work. Because you do it for your kids, you do it for someone else, and it matters. So that's the beginning of bodhicitta. Not doing workshops for intensity seeking and having exotic experiences, but for your growing, for your healing, for the benefit of all. And start with your kids, start with your partner. That's good enough as a start. Okay, so thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks I'm not here, so I will lead the retreat in Gomde in Aarhus. So, but I think from now on Tuesday, right?
just make a short
Ah,
announcement
okay,
on
yes,
the program. if that's
Okay, yes, do that.